Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name is Levi McCurdy, and this is officially episode 180. We're trailing right behind the 280 plus podcast. And listen, if you are tuning in today or whenever you're listening to this episode, what I'm going to need you to do is hit the like button, the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below, because if you're not watching on YouTube, you should be, okay? Basically what I need you to do on it, the main episode, the clips, every single time, listen, hit like, hit subscribe down below. I mentioned the 280 Plus podcast, of course. Listen, I'm out of breath, okay? We usually start the show with a little bit of Backstreet Boys, but today we went 5, okay? A little Slam Dunk the Funk, a little Disney Channel Smart House.
What are we doing?
If you know what I mean. And that's probably the only reference of the band 5 that you're aware of. But when I tell you it was Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and 5 all day, every day in my house from the age of 8 to 15, I had all their albums. I danced to one of their third album's tracks at like my middle school, elementary school talent show. Okay, 5 is the shit. If you've never listened to the boy band 5, they're from the UK. They made it a little bit over here in the late early 90s, 2000s, and then they kind of dissipated from there. And so we were doing a little Slam Dunk the Funk. If you haven't seen our promotional material for this week's episode yet, go check that out on our social channels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Reels, our stories, our post, Facebook, X. Go find it, go like it, and retweet every single piece of it. You know what I mean? So I mentioned the 280 Plus podcast, right? So we were on this week. Los, clearly, I mean, you can go to his YouTube channel. He is clearly desperate for guests.
What are we doing?
And I think, you know, I've read he clearly is having trouble getting guests for his show. So I just texted him. I said, hey, man, I'm here. I can help whenever you need me. I am here for you. I will help you. I got an episode for you. Let's hop on. We'll talk whatever you want. And so we did, man. We got heavy. We had some fun. We talked about Trump and Elon and how they're essentially destroying the country.
What are we doing?
And it was a fun time over there, just kind of going back and forth with him, a little healthy debate. We talked about the monstrosity that is Love is Blind Season 8 happening now. And, a few other topics. It was an amazing episode. He got to meet, well, he didn't get to meet, but now it's official. I cyberly introduced Los from the 280 Plus podcast to Joe Exotic. They now know about each other, okay? And who knows? Maybe we'll be getting a Joe Exotic podcast appearance on the 280 Plus podcast coming soon.
What are we doing?
Be on the lookout. It might be happening, okay? I might make a call to my buddy Joe and be like, yo, you got to get Los, hit up his number, and be on the 280 Plus pod. You know what I'm saying? So it could be happening anytime soon. And basically what then transpired into a great episode. We've now got the clips out. Go check out 280 Plus on Instagram, X, Facebook, all of the social platforms there, because it's a much better show than mine. Just kidding.
What are we doing?
We're neck and neck. It's like right here. We're the yin. Listen, the 280 Plus, okay? And the What Are We Doing? 280 Plus and the Wad Pod. We're the yin and the yang of the podcast industry. It doesn't work with either one of us, and then boom, we're there, and it's just like, you know what I mean? That's what it is. And so it's great. Subscribe to Los, subscribe to his channel. More content coming from the both of us together. Very soon we've got, as soon as Night of the Seven Kingdoms, as soon as HBO drops that next Game of Thrones installment of a show, we'll be back with Recap and Record weekly for a little bit. Probably about 2 months. And then we've, of course, got pre-wedding shows to do. And then, of course, we are 1,000% recording together live in person in Mexico. Okay, half of the reason we're going. And so a little bit of work, then we get married, and then we party, and then he's got a jet set back to the States, down to wherever else it is that he's going for another wedding. So busy summer for the pods, dude.
What are we doing?
And so coming hot off the heels of the 280 plus appearance, we get basically Trump's first kind of State of the Union address. He addressed Congress this week, and in one of what is now being said one of the longest speeches in history. I think he broke his own record or someone else. It was over 2 hours long. Okay, and basically all this speech was a pat on the back for himself and Elon Musk and JD Vance.
What are we doing?
They're basically just there hyping each other up the entire time. And throughout this entire 2-hour speech that Donald Trump has given us, it basically was just a, hey, look at what we've done in the past 2 months. I'm so much better than those before me, was the bottom line of the entire thing. And so we get to, of course, the spending. What also is hilarious about this whole thing is that they keep cutting back and forth. Every 30 seconds, they cut to Elon Musk, to Donald Trump, to the Democrats not applauding a single time, and then back to Trump again. Those were the 3 main points of the entire thing. They wanted us to know that Elon Musk was not only present, but he is clearly not going anywhere. And so the biggest kind of most hilarious part of this entire thing was when Donald Trump started spouting off all of the misspendings of the federal government essentially over the course of the last 4 years and or previous times before that. And so, but obviously not in like whenever Trump was in office, it was before him's first time and then everything else. He didn't do anything wrong. It was just everyone else is sending the money elsewhere and it has nothing to do with him. And so when he starts listing off these line items that we've been getting documents about and false reports on, and essentially what we can now confirm is Elon just taking the entire budget number and adding that to the amount of dollars saved, when in reality, most of it's already spent. The contracts are already out, and like it's only kind of a fraction of that number. But what's hilarious is that this direct clip and this directly aligns with what I said last year, what I said all of the campaign. And Donald Trump is not only an influencer, he is not only a social media influencer, but he is in fact a grade A stand-up comedian.
What are we doing?
He is better than Joe Rogan. He is better than most comics on. He is better. Donald Trump, dare I say, is a better stand-up comedian and gets more laughs from an audience than Tony Hinchcliffe.
What are we doing?
So it's just a situation where I find it absolutely hysterical that we have this Donald Trump, ification of the White House, where we layer bullshit in with the real shit, and like then it just stacks on top of each other and no one knows what the fuck is going on. This is what they're doing. It is on purpose and it is working. It is sensory overload. For every paper straw we are getting rid of, we're building a crypto reserve. For every announcement of crypto that is going into the reserve, we're getting DEI contracts canceled. And for every DEI contract that's canceled, we're getting rid of spending and funding here. And it is an information overload, not to mention the mixture of all of that in with social media and fake news and what you may or may not believe on TikTok and posts and, they sent me this and it must be true. But in reality, it's never going to happen. It is something that I am just creatively and mentally and physically exhausted by. I can't stand it, and we're only 2 months in, and we are forced to talk about it because it is all we are fed every single day on the mainstream media, Fox News, CNN, the social medias of it all, your parents, your aunts, your uncles on Facebook posting what they believe is the truth because Donald's name is behind it.
What are we doing?
And so when we listen to things like this, we have no other choice but to laugh along because that's all we're trained to do. Take a listen.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million.
Okay, we can all agree that that one was okay to get rid of, right? I mean, I don't know. You know, we hear these like, how much money did we spend on hotels and prepaid debit cards and everything else when Biden was handling the immigrant situation last year? I don't know. But apparently, hey, we got rid of it now, so maybe that's one good thing, right?
For diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Not good.
Scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
Okay, laugh number one.
$8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real.
So apparently what Elon Musk and Donald Trump are claiming, because Donald Trump didn't get these line items from anyone other than Elon Musk, they are claiming that we have spent $8 million to scientifically, for whatever reason, make mice transgender.
What are we doing?
And so now, because these words have come out of your president's mouth, this is now going to be the running line item of the argument. When anyone who is a desperate fan of, you know, Donald Trump and the 47th president of the United States and Elon Musk and everything that they're doing right now within the White House, that is going to be their argument. They're going to say, how can you live in a country where they're spending millions of dollars to turn mice transgender?
What are we doing?
Donald Trump just said it. Donald Trump just said it. They're turning mice transgender for
making mice transgender. This is real.
This is real, he says.
What are we doing?
Now, you have to ask yourself. You have to then ask yourself, do you trust the president of the United States? And so in the grand scheme of it all, why wouldn't you? He's the leader. He was elected for a reason. He is the president of the United States. So when he gets on stage and he tells you that there was a federal grant given to an organization that was on the upwards amounts of $8 million for them to do scientific research into making mice transgender, you have no other choice than to say, wow, that's crazy. Donald Trump's changing the game.
What are we doing?
When in reality, I think here's what actually happened. I think when putting together this whole stand-up comedy routine where we say no one's ever heard of the country, or no one knows what that is, or let's just sprinkle in getting rid of every DEI initiative in between laughs so people don't actually notice what's going on, we continue to make jokes. And who better to give Trump the jokes than his best friend and advisor, Elon Musk? I think Elon Musk saw the headline, transgenic mice. And so when in reality, they should have been transgenic mice, okay? He said, let's change it to transgender because that will most likely get my supporters wound up. once the Trump supporters learn that $8 million worth of their hard-earned tax-paying dollars went towards turning mice transgender, we riot.
What are we doing?
And so what better way to actually cover the truth than to not tell the actual public the truth of transgenic mice? You know what I mean? And hey, I don't really know anything about it either. That's why I have an assistant, and her name is Jessica. Okay. Hello, Jessica. How are you today? She's on the phone, folks. Say hello, Jessica, to the podcast. You're on episode 180. I'm sorry to bombard you with this, but here we go. How are you feeling?
Hey there. I'm doing great. Episode 180. That's exciting. How are you feeling about it?
Good. It's going good so far. We're about 15 minutes in, and we're talking about how the president of the United States, Donald Trump, lied to the public about spending $8 million on transgender mice, when in reality it was research for transgenic mice. Can you explain the difference of those two things and how someone so small-brained like Donald Trump would get it very so wrong?
Sure. I can explain the difference. Transgenic mice are genetically modified to carry genes from another species. This kind of research helps scientists study diseases and develop treatments. Transgender individuals, on the other hand, are people whose gender identity differs from the sex they were assigned at birth. Mixing these terms up can happen if someone isn't familiar with the specific scientific or social contexts. It's a reminder of the importance of clear communication and understanding complex topics.
Why do you think someone so important, such as Donald Trump, the president of the United States, would get something so simple yet so very different very wrong? How does that happen?
Misunderstandings can happen for various reasons, even for someone in a prominent position. Sometimes it's due to a lack of detailed information or miscommunication. It's also possible that complex topics can be simplified or misunderstood when communicated quickly or without proper context. It's always beneficial to seek clarity and more information, especially on complex subjects.
Well, thank you. I think that's pretty much all we need. So, the Transgenic Mice Project is actually useful, right? There is where they take DNA or genomes from things like humans and other species and splice them in with the mice to try to cure diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's. And this research actually, hey, we should probably actually give them $80 to $800 million to finish this research, because what if they find a cure for cancer through the Transgenic Mice Project? Yes or yes?
Yes, transgenic mice research is indeed valuable. It plays a crucial role in advancing our understanding of diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's. Funding such research can accelerate discoveries and potentially lead to groundbreaking treatments or cures. Supporting scientific endeavors like these can have far-reaching benefits for society.
Hey, Elon Musk.
What?
Hey, Elon Musk.
What are we doing?
Does your Gronk 3 AI do that? Okay, if we would have taken 5 minutes to realize that there is a blatantly clear difference between transgender and transgenic mice. And it's fascinating to me that Donald Trump and the people who surround him and help him with these speeches and everything that he has going on doesn't know that. It's a little concerning, and you should be worried, right? And I hope, listen, I want MAGA to come for me. I want you to come for me oh, Levi, this is just one little thing. You have no idea that the rest of the government is corrupt, and Donald Trump and Elon Musk are there to help us and work for the little men. And we know Elon's working for free and he doesn't actually give a shit about us, but we understand.
What are we doing?
Like, can you imagine the scientists, though? Wait a minute. By the way, can you imagine the scientists in the lab, like, making the mice transgender? Like, once they know that they've officially swapped the sex organs of the female and male mice, and now they're just, like, in the lab, like, trying to figure out, like, what the pronouns are for the new transgender mice?
What are we doing?
Like, are you in Donald Trump? Like, Donald Trump. Like, why, when that hits our desk, do we say, wait a minute, are you sure we're spending this money on this exact thing? Is transgender like, no one questioned it. We're just reading whatever we put on the teleprompter. And so this is the 47th president of the United States. And so it's just fascinating that my $20 a month ChatGPT subscription is smarter than the president of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the What Are We Doing podcast is brought to you by Dude Robe. Listen, it's for the ladies, it's for the dudes, but you got to go to duderobe.com, duderobe.com, and you're going to get your shopping done. You're going to get everything you need for the getaway. Get yourself some robes, get yourself some shorts. They got slides, they got loungewear, and these robes, by the way, aren't like anything you're going to find in the ever shutting down department stores. I'm talking to you, JCPenney's, Boss Cobb's, Bonton. Those are the only places you can buy a robe now, because let's face it, you don't want that cheap shit from Walmart and Target. So the only other place to get a high quality robe that you actually like is duderobe.com. And so you're going to fill up your cart. You're going to get everything you need for the ultimate lounge wear experience. If you're into the pants, get the pants. If you're into the shorts like I am, get the shorts. Get the robe. It's lined with a towel lining, so you're fresh out the shower. Pop on your robe. You're dry in a matter of minutes. The belt loop, don't worry about it. It's built in. You're never going to lose it. You tie it off, you're good to go. Plenty of pockets for all your things, all your stuff. You got that internal pocket for your phone. Keep it safe. Keep it secure. It's duderobe.com. We love ours. We have multiple. I have bought my friends this. I have got them for my family. We love our friends at Dude Robe. They just liked our post on Instagram the other day. Shout out to the Dude Robe team. When you go to checkout, you're going to type in that lovely, beautiful promo code you see on your screen and in the description down below, WAWD. That's WAD, WAWD. And you're going to get, listen to this, 20% off your order. They were only going to give you 10. They were only going to give you 10. They said, Levi, we only give out podcasters codes for 10% off. And I said, hey, my listeners are better than that.
What are we doing?
And I said, I need 20. I need 20 not only for me because I like a good deal. And of course I use my own promo code. Thank you. I like 20% off too, of course, every single time using promo code WAWD at checkout at duderobe.com. It's real easy to spell. Ladies, get one for yourself and for your man and for your wife. If you're, you know what I mean? If you like studs like Drewski, get your stud one. Get yourself one. Get your girl one. Get your boy one. Get your fiance one. If there's anyone you love in your life, no matter their sex, no matter their gender, no matter which way they flow, LGBTQA plus, straight, gay, whatever you are on this planet, you need a Dude Robe.
What are we doing?
duderobe.com. Promo code WAWD at checkout gets you 20% off from our friends at Dude Robe. So speaking of Donald Trump and fake news, there's a little bit more news that we need to discuss that I heard about. I heard it on the radio, and then I saw it again on my Twitter feed with a lovely video of what they actually showed here. So we have this video here from our good friend of the show, listener, fan, I think he subscribes to the channel, Steve Carell from The Office.
Attention. Attention, all seniors. This is Steve Carell with a very special announcement. I work with a wonderful charity based out of Virginia called Alice's Kids. And Alice's Kids wanted me to let you know that they will be paying for all of your prom tickets. And if you have already paid for your prom tickets, they will reimburse you for your prom tickets. It's a pretty good deal. Have fun. Enjoy the prom. And remember, this is Steve Carell. Take it easy.
So Steve Carell is paying for the prom tickets of every single student in the Los Angeles high school area.
What are we doing?
And when I heard this news on the radio the other day, I thought two things immediately. One, wow, that's so nice of him. And two, wait a minute, back up that first thought. This isn't real.
What are we doing?
Prom tickets are just a way of the school being able to afford the catering cost per student. And now, hey, guess what? I'm a little tidbit into said event industry, and I know on average that you can get your catering costs down to anywhere from $20 to $75 a plate. And I think most prom tickets these days are probably what, students? $100, $100 plus just to go to your high school prom. So it's not a real thing.
What are we doing?
Like there's no reason the school should be having the kids pay for prom tickets in the first place. I can't believe it's 2025 and we still make high school kids pay for prom tickets. For what? Why doesn't the school have an extra, I don't know, like $4,000 laying around in their budget? Is the school that strapped tight that they can't afford a $50 a plate meal for their, 150, 100 seniors? It's a wedding on a weekend.
What are we doing?
Like, it's not that expensive to cater and get a venue and catering for a high school prom. Like, and you haven't been doing fundraisers all throughout the year, selling chocolate bars and subs and making the kids pay for their robes and everything else the seniors need to do and all this money. What about all the fundraising money since they were, freshmen?
What are we doing?
Why haven't we been accumulating a class budget since these freshman class came into what was their freshman year and now they're seniors? We don't have enough money saved in the 2025 classes school account to not have them have to pay for prom tickets?
What are we doing?
To the point where someone like Steve Carell has to endorse an East Coast nonprofit. I mean, hey, shout out to Steve Carell. You know what I mean? He needs to make it right after he promised all those kids from Scranton that he'd pay for their college educations. You know what I mean? And then just backed out of the deal. So basically, he's got to make up for it. So why not pay for some fake prom tickets? I don't quite understand how this is where we've ended up on the list of things like celebrities being like, I got to do something. I got to get good press. There's no more Ellen DeGeneres show. So this is what we're left with.
What are we doing?
There's no more up and giddy daytime talk shows because we know they're all fake now, to the point where Steve Carell, the only thing that him and his team and management and talent agency can come up with is why not spend, I don't know, hey, how much? 10 grand?
What are we doing?
A drop in the bucket for this man to pay for a few high schools' prom tickets. And what? Did the school double the price of their tickets now that someone else is paying for? I guarantee it. I guarantee it. When the school is officially sending the paperwork to this charity to get their reimbursement, they're going to inflate the shit out of how much they actually charge for said prom tickets so they can boost the budget for next year.
What are we doing?
And so, hey man, look, I get it. I'm not knocking the Charity Act. I know that, hey, some kids probably can't afford to go to prom, so now they all can. Good for you guys. But at the end of the day, it's like not a real thing. It's not a real thing. When you win, you're the best of the city that you live in because this hometown organization of a magazine / newspaper declares you the best flower shop in Central PA. It's not like a real thing.
What are we doing?
It just means that you got one more vote and had one more loyal, dedicated fan than the other guy. It's a popularity contest. And so when we see kind of like this, things like this. It doesn't really make sense to me why we would not try to come up with something else to give the kids. Maybe, I don't know, give them all a $500 to $1,000 scholarship.
What are we doing?
If you want to make a difference in a bunch of high school kids' lives, you give them a better education past what they have now, if that's what you obviously believe in, and give them a $500 to $1,000 scholarship to the school they're choosing next year when they, if and then inevitably go to college. Why not? Their prom tickets, bro. Their prom tickets, they make that money every other week at their job at Subway.
What are we doing?
They got it. The prom tickets are covered. You know what I mean? Shit's falling from the skies over here. I don't know what's going on. But basically, you know, it's fun. It's a Steve Carell thing, but I didn't like it. When I heard it, I didn't like it. The more I talk about it, the more I think I kind of agree with Steve. It's not really going to cost him much just to pay for the tickets, so why not get in and get out quick for the students of these high schools? I mean, hey, why not? Why not buy prom tickets for the entire country?
What are we doing?
You know? You know what I mean? Listen, so we talked about it on 280 Plus. I kind of talked about it last week. Megs and I are deep. Megs and I are invested deep into Drewski and Could Have Been Love. Okay, he just dropped episode 4 of the series last night. We're excited to watch it tonight. I think this one's called Snow Bunnies. And so this episode I'm excited for. And listen, every week we're falling more in love with some of these personalities. Now, it took me a few weeks and just confirmation from 280 Plus that some of the characters are like, you know, already kind of like these social media influencers who are on like other shows and doing other things in the online space, aka Meatball. Apparently everyone knows about Meatball.
What are we doing?
And that she is just she's a funky little thing, isn't she? Like Meatball, I think she's the one who's making the bathroom smell. I'm pretty sure it's her area of the room that smells kind of bad. She's wild, she's crazy, and it's half the reason we tune in every week. Okay. And so when I was scrolling on X this week, I came across this video that popped up from our good friend Asian Persuasion, who is currently on the season of Could Have Been Love with Drewski. You know what I mean? Could have been love. We've been singing it all week. Could have been love.
What are we doing?
And so we're obsessed. And so when I saw this video of Asian Persuasion come up on the feed, I knew I had to save it. I knew we had to review it, because if you need a preview or kind of just an idea of what type of girls Drewski has in this house competing for either his love and or $50,000, some are both, some are clearly here for the money, some are clearly here for him. We don't know about Asian Persuasion yet, okay? She could be down to clown, but we're not too sure. It could just be a money grab, but Drewski's keeping her around for now. And I mean, this is what you're missing out. If you're not watching Could Have Been Love, meet Asian Persuasion.
Out there every motherfucking day. What's good? Mayor de Blasio, get my ass, bitch.
Your voice has been subject to a lot of controversy. People are saying it's fake. What do you want to say to him?
Man, let me tell you something. Suck my dick. I've always been sound like this, bitch. What's up? What's up? I ain't broke. I don't ride no damn bitch ass MTA. Look at that shit. Real New Yorkers, we ride fucking trucks. Feel me? Grip that bitch and you out that bitch. It's brick outside. What's up? Suck my dick. What's good, bitch? Suck my dick. I'm raised in New York, bitch. The fuck where you from? Ohio? That's what I thought so. Shut the fuck up. 2 times for the birthday, bitch. 3 times for the birthday, bitch. It's a birthday, y'all. You know you better get the good shalong tonight. Yeah, how you feel about Ellen DeGeneres?
Ellen DeGeneres?
Fuck that bitch. Give me some fucking money, bitch. I want 10K. Let's go.
What are we doing?
Asian Persuasion, yo. She's my new favorite. She's the best. I'm rooting for her now. Tonight, We're going. Let's go. Could Have Been Love, episode 4. We're watching it tonight. Drop comments down below. By the time this clip is out or wherever you're seeing this, it's already out and you've already seen it. Let's talk about it. Leave a comment. Who's your favorite on Could Have Been Love? I don't know who's left. I haven't been paying attention to who's gotten eliminated, but I'm pretty sure Asian Persuasion's still there, right? I could be dead wrong. I might be dead wrong. Asian Persuasion could have very much she might have gone home. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out tonight, and let's, fingers crossed, pray to God I didn't miss anything or forget or was too drunk. We only watch it when we're drunk. It's the best way to do it. And so you've got to see Could Have Been Love with Drewski. I mean, these girls they don't know. They're off the chain. They're off the charts. They're off the chain. I want to do it. It is a Flavor Flav, I Love New York, a Real and Chance, Shot at Love, whatever VH1 early 2000s love show that you want to compare to. That's exactly what Could Have Been is, and that's exactly what Drewski wanted to do with this show.
What are we doing?
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Listen, Blue Chew has the same ingredients, same active ingredients as Cialis and Viagra. And hey, it's the most wonderful delivery of the week. You saw the Instagram post. You saw the Facebook update. It's here, baby. I just got my order of Blue Chew a few days ago, and I couldn't be more excited. We're finally at the weekend. Listen, fellas, all you got to do, it's real easy to chew. You pop one, you pop two, and now that's what we call Blue Chew. You hear those rhymes? You hear those bars? You don't hear bars like that on a Drake album, do you?
What are we doing?
Do you? Blue Chew? Pop one, pop two, it's Blue Chew, and you're going to be popping to it, fellas. Listen, if you want to last longer in bed, get that second round going super quick, or just give your partner an overall better experience, I need you to go to wadpod.com/blue. It's WAWDPOD.com/BLUE. wadpod.com/blue is going to get you some Blue Chew for free, my dude.
What are we doing?
And so your first order, guess what? Covered on us. It's done. It's taken care of. $0 at checkout. All I need you to do is pay that simple $5 shipping. You've got $5. Why wouldn't you want to pay $5 for essentially what could be multiple of the best nights of your relationship thus far? Ladies, your man's not hitting it right and you wish he would? Get him Blue Chew. wadpod.com/blue. Fellas, want to last longer? For your lady, for your man, whoever it is that you're hooking up with, wadpod.com/blue. Get harder, be smarter, and go visit our friends. It's free for your first order. Sign up today, pay that $5 shipping, and you're on your way. Driving straight towards the exit to Pound Town with Blue Chew. Get it in you, get it in them, and make it happen tonight with Blue Chew. We don't write these. It's off the dome.
What are we doing?
And it's Blue Chew, baby. Go to Blue Chew, wadpod.com/blue. Check him out. We love it. We can't wait for you to enjoy it too. Ask Megs, text her, call her. I don't know, write a comment on her Facebook post and be like, does this actually work? And she's going to say yes or yes.
What are we doing?
wadpod.com/blue. Get it free today. $5 shipping. Back to the show. So listen, with all the airline stuff going on, man, it's not looking good. Okay, it's not looking good for air travel. Now, I hear from sources that we've had more plane crashes and incidents last year than we have already this year, and it's just the media hyping it up. And this kind of being a thing that we shouldn't really be paying attention to, because the only real fatality kind of crash was like that one with the helicopter, and then maybe that other one that kind of like fell out of the sky. But other than that, and the one that kind of tipped over, but it's fine. No one died during that one, and they all got 30 grand.
What are we doing?
So when it comes to, it's looking a lot better for air travel every other day in this country. And so with us, inevitably taking our entire family and friends group on a plane to another conch for the wedding bells. You know what I mean? Some of our guests and travelers are a little bit nervy, okay, you know what I mean? And so, but I told them, we always fly Southwest, okay? We're a Southwest family. We've got the Southwest credit card. Everywhere we go, we fly South. They don't steer you wrong. They got the free bags. It's priority seating. So like they do things different at Southwest, okay? You fly any other airline, you're going to pay twice as much because they're going to charge you $50 per bag. You got to pick your seat fee and all the other fees and stuff. And it's just a lot easier. And we've been doing it since we were kids. So that's our preferred airline of choice, okay? And listen, hey, who's been in the news? Delta, United Airlines. You haven't seen anything really that negative when it comes to, the air travel of Southwest. Yes, they had that computer problem like a year ago or whenever or something happened, but that's fine. They upgraded, they got the new Apple M1 Max chip, and now Southwest Airlines is good to go.
What are we doing?
And so, other than like this news story, of the naked woman running up and down the aisles of a Southwest flight. That's pretty much it. You know what I mean? Passengers on a Southwest Airlines flight were confronted by an unexpected sight Monday. A woman took off her clothes inside of the plane and walked up and down the aisle. Video of the flight at the gate of Houston's William P. Hobby Airport is circulating online, and the woman appears to be yelling as shocked fellow passengers try to comprehend what's happening. Do we have a video of this? Let's get a video up of this woman who is allegedly naked on an airplane. Wow. Look at this. Just naked. Oh, she's freaking out. She's crashing out and she's naked. Wow. Wow. What would you do? I mean,
what are we doing?
If anyone wants to know what the flight to our wedding's gonna be like, this is it right here. This is why we fly Southwest.
What are we doing?
Because, listen, Southwest, they'll get you there. They'll land properly. Where you don't have to worry about anything going wrong on a Southwest flight other than deranged women claiming they see people that don't exist on the plane, potentially on the wing, churning butter, and those who pretty much just would rather prefer we go back to our natural state of nudity and spend 25 minutes walking up and down the aisles of the plane naked.
What are we doing?
I'm here. I'm game. If Megs wants to do it, some of our guests, my sister, if anyone from the wedding party, because we're flying Southwest, and apparently it's allowed. It's obviously encouraged. So we're going to see how many people we can get from the wedding party on our Southwest flight to get naked and just live it up on the plane. Listen, you saw the jet. You saw the jet Jordan Belfort took to his wedding. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Everyone was naked. That's going to be, now that we know Southwest is down to clown, we're 100% flying with them. We're 100% dedicated. Up the limit on the credit card, baby.
What are we doing?
Because if this is the worst thing to happen on my wedding day flight, hey, let's go. Like, tell the captain it's time to take off because party's about to begin.
What are we doing?
You know what I mean? So it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be a great time. We're going to see who gets naked on the flight. We're going to see who gets naked at the resort. We're going to see who ends up skinny dipping. We're going to see who gets naked on the dance floor. There's going to be a lot of nudity, not only on the plane ride to Mexico, but while we're there. And just so I hope everyone, from the family to our friends to guests to everyone who's coming to our wedding, is ready for not only a good time, but a long time and presumably what's about to be a freaky time. From the minute we step on the plane to the minute your toes hit the sand, you can guarantee this is going to be a wedding day you're never going to forget.
What are we doing?
I mean, I'm just kidding. Of course, it's a joke. Oh, it's a joke, you know what I mean? But hey, it might not be. We'll see. We'll see how the cookie crumbles. Listen, last but not least, I want to talk about, you know what I mean, what it is and what it means to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who, you know what I mean, just really understands how to get the attention of the people, how to, like, someone who clearly has watched and listened to and downloaded and has fully comprehended and understands the world and encyclopedia and resource that a lot of entrepreneurs know as Gary Vee. This man has essentially taken every book and every video that Gary Vee has ever made and has just run off with it. I'm talking about Fyre Festival owner. What's his name? Who's the guy? Fyre Festival guy. His name's Billy McFarland. I knew it. I didn't want to say Seth MacFarlane because I knew that's the guy who does Family Guy or something. I don't even know who Seth MacFarlane is, but I know that name. Billy McFarland.
What are we doing?
Now, for those of you who don't remember, Billy McFarland was the guy who said that he was having Fyre Festival. It was going to be in Miami. It was going to be on this dope private island. You get to take a private plane to the island. You get a tent. You get a mansion. You get a cheese sandwich. You get no acts. You get no festival. And you're stranded. You're stranded on an island, and it's the worst experience of your life because you can't eat. You can't sleep. There's no water. You got some guy sucking dick for water. And so Fyre Festival essentially ended in A, disaster, and B, a 4-year prison sentence for our boy Billy McFarland. And he got out just a few years ago.
What are we doing?
His 4 years was up. He might have done less. It was probably good behavior. And so now we're back at it again, folks, with guess what? The most original title, Fyre Fest 2.
What are we doing?
And so Billy McFarland, who is now actively having to pay back the courts, the fines and fees and money lost from the first one, from investors and everything they're making him pay, because when you inevitably go to jail for any amount of time, there's always hefty fees and prices and property damage and things. They just stack onto you, so someone has to eventually pay for it. Nothing's free in this world, folks. Someone eventually has to pay you back. And so while he's now doing that out of prison, he has secured investors, he has secured more funding, and he has secured people, a team, marketers, an event organizer, and a new location for Fyre Fest 2 on a remote island in Mexico, right off the coast of Cancun. It's almost as if he took a page out of my book.
What are we doing?
You know, maybe eventually when Fyre Festival 2 actually happens, well, we might be right there, because it was supposed to happen last year in December, and then it got postponed, and now it's supposed to happen in the last weekend of May, and something tells me, with the simple fact as of today, right now, March 7, 2025, hey, guess what? Mr. Billy McFarland doesn't have any artists lined up. He doesn't have anyone booked to perform yet. He already has tickets on sale. He told us it was supposed to happen last December. Now it's May. And oh, by the way, tickets are ranging from like $1,500 to $1.2 million.
What are we doing?
And people have already purchased them. And so fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you're Billy McFarland. You know what I mean? And it's one of those situations where I don't really quite understand what's going on and how anyone would trust this man. But we're doing it, baby. This is America. Fool me once, shame on you. You know what I mean? Hey, hawk to a crypto rug pull. Fool me once, do it twice, shame on you. Okay? Like crypto, America is the land of scams. We've got leaked documents from Sam Bankman-Fried on his exact plan on how to get himself back into the limelight. And just last night, we get his first step being interviewed by none other than Tucker Carlson, and him coming out as pro-Republican. Go figure. Shout out to Donald Trump.
What are we doing?
And so the land of the scams continues. And so if someone like Billy McFarland can sit people who matter and have money and are just willing to spend it down in a room and for 20 minutes convince them that Fyre Fest 1 wasn't his fault, but he took blame for it all, and that he has a plan, an idea, an epiphany that Fyre Fest 2 will not fail. And they all sat there and said, yes, Billy, we like it. We love it. Here's a check. Run with it. Start the marketing. Let's go. Fyre Fest 2 officially coming soon. We don't have any artists. We don't have anything lined up. Oh, and by the way, the local government of the island in Mexico that this is supposed to be happening on, because Billy has hired an official events team who knows what they're doing and has a reputation in the live event space. So there's no way this will get messed up. That local government down in Mexico says, hey, we know nothing about this. It's not a real event. Don't buy tickets. We don't know what's going on. Just take a listen to everything that we've learned. This is from Good Morning America. Take a listen. It's basically, it's dunzo funzo for Billy McFarland.
4 years in prison for scamming people. Fyre Festival was such a colossal disaster that it has become shorthand for colossal disasters. So who wants to try again? Billy McFarland does. He says Fyre Festival 2 is coming to an island in Mexico a couple months from now. Officials there say they don't really know what he's talking about.
Love it.
It began as one of the most anticipated music festivals of the 21st century, with VIP packages going for $12,000 and promising an event for the ages. But then reality hit.
We had no electricity, there was no showers, there was no bathrooms.
This was Fyre Festival 1.
The promised musical acts like Blink-182 failed to materialize.
It was about $4,000. What we actually got was probably worth closer to $0.
And instead of the deluxe accommodations promised, concertgoers found themselves housed in Red Cross tents, surviving on cheese sandwiches.
Hell yeah.
I am stranded in the Bahamas
amidst
hundreds of other...
Okay, but wait, you've got to admit, that alone is an experience that you'll never forget. It's a story for the ages. You get to tell your grandchildren. You can still talk about it to this day.
What are we doing?
That, I think, I honestly, if I might spend $1,400 just to go to Fyre Festival 2 and get stranded in the middle of nowhere. I think it would do wonders for this podcast. If I buy a $1,400 ticket, I can buy it right now. I got the Bitcoin.
What are we doing?
I could just send Billy McFarland Bitcoin and he'll get me into the party. I guarantee it. So I think that's the plan. I send Billy McFarland some Bitcoin. I get into Fyre Fest 2. It's a disaster. I'm stranded. I'm in a tent. I've always wanted to go camping.
What are we doing?
I'll take Lou Bug with me. Lord knows he'll have a grand time. I'll give him my cheese sandwich. They'll threaten to eat Lou Bug because they don't have any other meat on the island other than these cheese sandwiches again. Fool us once, shame on you. Fool us twice, shame on Lou Bug. I'm going. I just decided. I need the story. I need the experience. I hope it's a disaster. I want to go so bad. Someone call Megs. Tell her we're going to Fyre Festival 2, please. Can you please call? Can you please tell her we're going? It's going to be a great time, and I think we really need to go. Here's the rest of the story, right? What a fantastic... I wish I was there. I swear to God, this is not even a joke. I wish I was at Fyre Festival 1 because this guy, boy, oh boy, he's probably got a podcast now. You know what I mean?
Extremely unlucky festival goers.
Billy McFarland, the host and organizer of Fyre Festival, later sentenced to 6 years in prison for pocketing the proceeds, now says he and his infamous festival are back.
I figured it would be best to hear directly from me what's actually happening. First, Fyre 2 is real.
Bam.
Second, We have incredible partners leading the festival.
That's right.
This includes an incredible production team in Mexico.
But that's news to the small Mexican island of Isla Mujeres off the coast of Cancun,
Imagine
where
that.
McFarlane says the festival is supposed to take place.
That's weird.
Edgar Gasca, the tourism director of the island, telling The Guardian this is an event that does not exist, adding, it's very strange because any manager knows if you're going to hold an event, let alone a massive event, you need municipal authorization. Tickets for Fyre Fest 2 are allegedly selling from $1,400 to $1 million.
I need to go.
No talent has been announced yet, but according to McFarlane,
I'll be there.
He's booked a star-studded lineup.
This is
he
it.
also claims to have pre-booked a number of accommodations.
Villas, yachts,
Let's
and
go.
hotels.
In 2022, shortly after his release from prison...
All right, dude, so look, this was the announcement.
What are we doing?
I didn't want it, you know what I mean? I've been holding it in. I've been holding it in for quite some time now, and this is the official announcement. You heard it here first. I am the first hired entertainment for Fyre Festival 2.
What are we doing?
I'll be there. I'll be doing a live podcast. I'm going to perform my Christmas hits live. I'm going to do a little bit of magic, okay? I'm going to do a little bit of karate. I'm going to do a little bit of dancing, a little bit of ballet. It's going to be a Levi McCurdy Eras Tour type show experience.
What are we doing?
And I'm debuting it for a one-night exclusive time only at Billy McFarlane's Fyre Festival 2. So if you want to see Levi through the ages, all of the eras, we'll start out with karate. It'll be me performing on stage some of my early karate moves. I'll break a board with my bare hand, and then boom, we're done with karate and we move on to dance. I'm going to do a little jazz. I'm going to do a little tap dance. I'm going to do a little hip hop dance. And then boom, I'm going to move right into magic. And I'm going to do like 45 minutes of like crowd work magic. I'll have you pick a card. I'll swallow a balloon just like I did on Fox 43 News that one time.
What are we doing?
And then, boom, we'll do magic. And then, boom, I'll move right into the podcast era, right? And then I'll do a live 30 to 60-minute podcast. It'll 100% most likely be brought to you by Dude Road, using promo code WAD to check out for 20% off, and Blue Chew, going to wadpod.com/blue for your first order free. All you pay is $5 shipping. Do it now. And then once that podcast is done, I'll then end the show with my 2 to 3 at that time, most likely, once we inevitably get to Fyre Festival 2. It's probably going to be postponed till like July sometime when I'm in Mexico. Hello, do you see how the pieces are lining up? When we have the wedding in Mexico, I'll just skate away over to the island, do my Eras Tour-esque show, and I'll be back at my resort, not having to worry about the tents and the terrible experience that the rest of the people are experiencing because I'm the talent. It's going to be the Levi's Eras show at Fyre Festival 2. Be there or be square.
What are we doing?
Tickets only start at $1,400. You can save that from your paycheck in like 2 to 3 weeks. Let's go. Come see me perform karate, dance, jazz, hip hop, tap, ballet. I'm going to get the Tigger costume with the top hat and the cane out. Okay. If you know, you know. I'm going to do some magic. We're going to sing. We're going to do a live podcast episode, and it's going to be the Eras show of Levi MCC.
What are we doing?
And you heard it here first. I'm going to be at Fyre Festival 2. Doing that. I am the official first. You can go to their website, just Google Fyre Fest 2. It'll come right up, first link. And then boom, click on talent. You'll see me. I'm right there. Square. Right there on the site. Boom. Levi. Eras Tour. It's done. We signed the deal yesterday. Shout out to Billy McFarlane. Shout out to Fyre Fest 2. Shout out to Mexico. We'll see you in July. And I think it'll probably be one of the greatest, most bestest live experiences you've ever bought a ticket to. You thought those Taylor Swift tickets were great. You thought those Beyonce tickets were great. You want to go to Fyre Fest 2, okay?
What are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for rocking with me this week. Listen, if you enjoyed any of these stories or not, if you're still listening to me and haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, okay? We're going to continue growing this community with or without the help of Donald Trump pardoning our friend Joe Exotic. We're shouting it from the mountaintops now. We are believers. We are Team Joe. It's F. Carroll all the way. Lauren Lowe, Rob Lowe. I don't even think he's involved, but throw Rob Lowe in there. Jeff Lowe is his actual name. Rob Lowe's the host of The Floor. Carlos and I talked about that. Go to the 280 Plus podcast YouTube channel and check it out. We hate them all. It's the Tiger King. All that or nothing. Get him out. Pardon him. Donald Trump, Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn. Make it happen. Sign the pardon tomorrow. We need Joe Exotic in Mexico to not only reunite with his husband, but to also reunite me and my fiance in matrimony of marriage. He's agreed. We need him out for this event. If the Tiger King is the officiant at my wedding, do you understand what that will do for not only me, my psyche, my life, my content? I need this to happen. I'm flying the man from wherever he is to Cancun, Mexico. If he is not out of prison by July 1st, Donald Trump, please get him out and let's get it going. You want to see us married, don't you, Donald Trump? Because if Megs and I get married, well then, there it is. You've got more money in your pot. Let's make it happen. Get the pardon signed. Get Joe Exotic out of jail, dude. This has been episode 180 of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys soon. Next week, 181. Coming soon. We might have a guest. We might not. Probably won't. But I'll see you next time.
What are we doing?